No.
Not at all?
No.
Women's basketball.
Like WNBA.
Isn't there Liberty?
Yes.
I really can't actually.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? No women's basketball teams.
Yes.
Name them.
Minnesota Lynx, LA Sparks, and Chicago Dream? No?
Sky.
Sky.
I have no preference about a male or female coaching me in golf.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to play for a bitch. No, I'm kidding. Hey, started. Yes, because I feel like it would be a new and exciting way for women to get into sports and integrate sports, and yeah.
I would rather join a collegiate or professional team if a woman was a head coach, because they can relate to you more and they have similar experiences that you've had, so they can cater the practices and training to what you need.
It's definitely, it's different, especially with family and kids, okay? Because, and you have to balance your life a lot different. Just kind of naturally, the kids stay with their mom, right? So, but with what we're doing, I just gotta make sure that the amount of time or the little time that I have with them, that it's a quality time, right? I think the other thing with, being women's head coaches, we're definitely working in a men-driven industry, okay? In the Power 5 conferences, right, between Big Ten, SEC, ACC, all those guys, there is 6 of us, female head coaches, out of all those schools, okay? Which is ridiculous.
Bizarre.
Our salaries are not on the level as our male counterparts either. So we're still very much, behind to be equal, in a lot of areas. And I think also, like, a lot of places might not think about the balance that we need to strike. Okay, I think a lot of institutions need to do a better job with, being more flexible, being a little bit more creative with, with female coaches, when it comes to family and, doing the job and everything. It can be done, okay, but I think there are ways to make it a little bit smoother transition, because there are some great female coaches that are not in coaching right now because of the settings. So.
Okay, I think in the U.S. and in Italy, related to swimming, the opportunities that are given to athletes, female or male, are pretty much the same. But in other sports, like especially in team sports, I think we are even worse, because we don't really have any like soccer women or like any like team women, like sports are not really considered like shown on TV.
I guess women in sports, it's tough because football's so big, but it's still good to be a woman in sports and represent, my family, gender, where I'm from. So, it's tough to compete with all the football fans, but we still get treated really well.
Okay, playing golf has been, you had to overcome a lot of stereotypes as a female playing golf because it's such a male-dominated sport. But I think it's been a positive experience because I've seen the effect that I've had growing up playing golf in Alabama, and now there are so many other girls playing. So it's been a positive outcome.
Certain points in time throughout my career in athletics, which has been as an athlete and as a coach, it's been a very positive thing for my life, but there have also been very negative things as well. I think, like, when I was in high school, very formative experience for me. was being teased a lot because I was in a small school and I was the fastest person on my team by a long shot, and I was faster than about 95% of the men's team at my high school. And my freshman year, I would train with one of the senior boys, and got teased and made fun of a lot, and like had a nickname that was like, people called me the Beast, but in a very derogatory way, and would refer to me as like he instead of she. And that was something that was pretty tough experience as a freshman in high school, and it was one of the first times I really kind of started to understand how people's gender stereotypes influence how they treat people. And so that was kind of a negative experience for me, but one that really helped me kind of grow and become more aware of how gender plays a role in our lives. And I think is something that has turned into a positive for me, because it's something that made me more aware of that. I ended up being a women's gender studies major. You know, I like to think of myself as a very strong woman who really ignores those kind of things and ignores gender stereotypes and expectations, and that was a very formative experience for me. But that being said, I think I encounter all the time you know, instances of gender discrimination, both as when I was an athlete and also as a coach.
$1 million, and for males, 70 million.
I think it's possible, to be honest. I know this is a really cynical thing that comes into my mind, but I think maybe it's not cynical. But I think a big reason for that would be to have some sort of additional women's sport that balances out Title IX numbers to allow more men to participate. Would be a big part of that. I think it's certainly a possibility. I think it would run into some of the same issues that even like women's basketball. I don't know necessarily what kind of fan base it would have in the future, but I don't see any reason why it might not happen and might not occur. And I think even having something like that, like I mentioned, could help kind of balance out the big inequities in collegiate sports when you have a men's football program that carries a 100-person roster.
They feel. I don't want to be like sexist. Alright, well, I feel like they don't feel like girls can handle the physicality of the men's game, I guess. So they may stick with adjusted rules.
Men do 6 dives on tower, and women only do 5.
Oh, okay. Do you know why that is?
And actually, well, because internationally that's the way it is too.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because right now we're debating that within the NCAA subcommittee. They're debating the idea of not doing 6 dives on springboards. Right now we do 6 dives on 1 meter and 3 meter with women and men. And they're talking about, we should only do 5 with women. Okay, because that's what they do in FINA.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of us are against it because we feel like, why are we going? We're moving in the wrong direction. I mean, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
We're moving in the wrong direction. But why can't women do 6 dives? I mean, they're perfectly capable.
Yeah.
You know, and so dropping down to 5 just to get in line with FINA, I think is going the opposite direction we want to go in. I think FINA should get their acts together the other way. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's actually a big debate currently right now in diving is the idea of women not doing the same, for some reason can't do the same number of dives as guys. I mean, it's just kind of silly.
Yeah.
You know, it's bizarre. It's like in tennis where they have the 5 sets versus 3 sets.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Like, women
Okay.
can't handle 5 sets. Give me a break.
Yeah.
They probably have more endurance than the guys do.
Exactly.
I think women are sexualized in sports. Like, you can take lacrosse players, they have to wear skirts. They'd probably be more comfortable in shorts. The women's lingerie league for football, that's a prime example. Like, those women, they are just out there to exhibit their athleticism and to have fun, but to get any airtime, they need to wear the short underwears and bras to cover up their padding and stuff. So I think it's definitely a thing that women are sexualized in sports. Little girls need people to look up to. Like, little boys have like the football teams and the basketball teams, but little girls don't have anyone. And there are women's sports like basketball and swimming and tennis that don't get all the coverage that they should be getting. So I think that they should get primetime airing.
Other sports that the women's version of things